Hey everyone, so I'm back to take another look at the Zoya by Empress Effects and some of the user-made patches available within the Patchstorage website. So this one, super cool. One of the main ones I wanted to feature here is the Quick Sampler 2. I got this around the time of the 3.0 update. And yeah, this is so super cool. I was really excited when they added the sampler module and expanded some of the utilities. Now we have stuff even beyond what this does, but this is a really cool laid out example. So what we have is 8 individual samplers right here on the first page. So this is kind of like all the controls for the first sampler, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and the final one. And what we have down here on this row is all of our quick record buttons. They're press, and they record. When you release, it stops recording. Then you have a reverse button for each of these. Up above here is like pitch control, so you can raise or lower each of the notes or samples by up to 10 octaves, which is crazy. And then you have, and that does adjust the pitch. So raising is going to speed up the sound, lowering is going to drag it out longer. And then the very top row is like a quick play button. On the bottom here, we have 3 controls. Starting from the right, this is a press and, a play and stop button for the sequencer, which is on the second page. This is going to be like a tempo control for it. And then this button right here swaps between a internal clock, which is why the play stop button disappeared, and an external clock through MIDI. So really don't need that one back and forth too much. It's more of just setup on it. And again, there is things on the next few pages we'll take a quick look at, but this first page is so cool. So let's play some stuff into it. I've got my Les Paul tuned to standard. I'm not using any kind of simulation or anything. I could really get out of hand if I start messing with that stuff, so it's just raw guitar signal that you're hearing. Let's take the note A and just record a couple quick samples all the way across. So I'm going to say like record right there. Well, let me show you here. So that's what I can pull up there. I can take this and drop the pitch of it. Even adjust that in real time in some cases there. There we go. Let's put it back to 0A. There we go. So that's kind of like home position. Let me start again. I'm just going to go all across. And we have. Now that is obviously all still the same note, but I'm going to take the pitch on the second one, raise it up to B. This one I'm going to raise it up to C1, then D1, E1, F1, G1, and A1. And now if I play it across, we have an A minor scale, or backwards. And it's hard to hear just in a single octave, but the notes are getting a little bit faster as they're raising in pitch, and if I was to lower them, then they would slow down in pitch. So that's something to consider there. Let's see what it would sound like in reverse. So this is each of the samples being played in reverse. That's a cool feature there. And I'm just doing a scale just to kind of have something easy to show off. Let's take a look at some of the other pages, though. Actually, real quick before I do, let me pull up some of the info from the Patchstorage website. So this is made by a guy named Ryan Holmberg, and this is his 2.0 revision. I can't find the original one on here, but I mean, that's okay. This one works great. Looks like it's only been downloaded about 529 times, which for how useful this is really crazy. I mean, I think that if you had just a standalone unit with this layout and functionality, it could easily be worth just as much as the Zoya in its own. So this is a great, valuable patch. He's done some other cool stuff too. I think he made Ryan made the saxophone patch, which I'm definitely going to be featuring at another point too. Great description in here that'll kind of help explain some of the stuff. I'll post a link to it in the description for this video here, but let's go ahead and just kind of poke around a little bit. I'm gonna turn my guitar volume down. And let's see, next page over, this is where we have our sequencer that's coming into play. So we had a stop start button for the sequencer on the first page, and then I'm not sure what this little pixel in is really doing there, but that's okay. So let's see, our sequencer's going. Obviously you can hear that. So let's explain what's happening here. So this blue page right here, this is the first sampler and everything, all the little samples within it and everything. So let's see. If I go over here to the green sequencer, let's see. Oh, that's what's happening there. Okay, that little note's popping in. So yeah, again, we have 6 of our sequencers down here on the bottom. So this is sequencer 1 with 32 steps. Sequencer 2 lines up with the same color as that, also 32 steps. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And Ryan put a way that you can have access to sequencers 7 and 8 by lowering the steps on the sequencer. I tried that. If you do this, steps per page, drop it down to 16 and say okay. Like, yeah, some of the stuff moved up, but I'm not seeing the extra modules appear there. So let me go back here, go to edit, put it back to 32, which I think is the max. Yeah. And then let's back out, save that. So here we go. What am I looking at? If I hit play and something is popping out sound-wise, I can see where it's happening right there on the sequencer because the button will start. So let's do a quick one here. So I'm gonna say like 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why that is wanting to light up when I do that. Let's see. Oh. So now let's take a look at page 2, and I'll put those 2 down here. I'll do these. Down here I'll do these. Down here I'll do these. And these. If I had access to 7 and 8, I could do a full octave scale. But let's see what we got going on with this. If I hit play. So since I don't have access to those, and if I don't want that gap to be there, let's edit, drop it from 32 to 24 steps. And I think this would work. Yeah, so if anybody has any good advice on how I can access the sequencer for samplers 7 and 8, that would be helpful. Let me just go ahead and set it back to how it was. And yeah, it's kind of a, goofy way it was set up there. Let's see. I'm just going to kind of cancel all these out here. Did I actually get it all? Oh, let's see. Let's see if I got it all now. I'm still figuring out how to do all this stuff. I almost kind of forgot the sequencer was back here. I just would use the front sampler page. Let's take a little bit of a deeper look, though, and see what we got beyond here on these other pages. So the audio routing, third page. The first page is 0, second page is 2, third page is Yeah, the second one there. So it's kind of weird. But again, this is our audio routing right here. So very simple page compared to the other ones. This is our audio in, and this connects to the sampler units there. And then this is the audio coming back from the sampler units, and then the output. So with my guitar volume up, you can see the signal path lighting up there. So you can see this is where the sound is coming in, and then this is where it's headed to. So it goes from here to here, winds up here when you're using the sampler, and then eventually this is the left and right output there, just to show you. Audio in, left, VCA loopers, level control, VCA looper out. That's the loops output, loops output, loops out, and then this is the audio left, which is connected to that. Audio left, audio right. So it's cool how he left all this space here, because if you wanted an effect to be added in each of the samples, then you would break this chain right here, add the effect either on this page or another page. It's great you have so much room on this page. And that's going to record the effect to the loop. If you want the effect to come after the loop, an effect like all of them, something like a reverb or a tremolo, I don't whatever you want to do, it's the Zoya, you can do whatever, put that in between here. You would break this part of the chain, actually this part from here to here, and then insert your effect and then connect it all there. So I'm not going to do that today. But super cool how he laid it out like that. On the next page, this is some of our MIDI note routing. So each of these, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for each of the samplers. They're all note out, gate out, and then trigger out for each of these. So I don't have a MIDI controller connected to it. I've seen a video where somebody did, and it seems really cool. I've not even scratched the surface of that with the Zoya just yet, but that's cool that it's all so organized on here. Let's see, I don't want to connect that to anything. So skip a page. Now we have some of the controls for each of the loopers. This is like where each of the controls for all the stuff happening on the first page are living here. So you have like looper audio in, and then I'm not going to hit it, but this is like starting the audio looper, stopping the audio, I think, and then what do we have? Oh, that's the start stop. Yeah, for the sample that's already there. And then what do we have? Speed and pitch, which if you hit that, you can kind of cycle how it's measuring things. This is the reverse button. Yeah, you want it to actually say forward. When you hit it, it goes to reverse. You want it to be forward. Let's see. Yeah, and what's this last one? It's the audio out for each of those. So this is all laid out on the first page in a way where you can fit all 8 loopers, because you can see I can only fit 4 on here. And let's see, that page is loopers 1 through 4. The next page down is loopers 5 through 8. Same thing, just in a different color, probably to help guy think about like how which page he's actually on and keep track of that. And then we have the trigger inputs here. Each of these is just 2 things. So you have the CV input, the CV output, and that's for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to break that connection. And then over here, this is the Nunya business page right here. So this is kind of some of the ins and outs of how it's working. And to be honest, it's cool that he fit it all just on one page here. Let's take a look at some of the utilities. We have a MIDI clock in, running output. Got a trigger, CV output, out switch. Yeah, out switch stuff. CV input, going crazy there. Multiplier, trigger output, CV flip-flop. See, all this stuff is in here, and I know that it's useful, and you got to use it. I have no idea where in the chain this all comes or anything. I just like to poke around and be like, it's kind of like dissecting some of these things in a way that we can't do on other effects units. In switch select 1 and 2, and yeah, So I wouldn't say that it's necessarily none of our business what's happening on this page, but we don't really need it. This really overcomplicates it. The really best part of this whole thing, and there's nothing after that on the pages. The best part is these first two pages where you have the control on the first page and then the sequencer on the next page. Super cool patch. I've been a big fan of it ever since it came out, and I've always liked samplers. If anything, just messing around with them, not really writing things creatively, but this really gives you like a good creative platform to be able to make stuff with. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video for today. What do you think of this? Have you tried it out? Do you have any tips on some of the stuff that I'm missing there? Like, what's the best way to get the MIDI stuff going there? How can I get sequencer page 7 and 8 to show up as well? Yeah, we'll get it going there. Thank you guys very much, and I will talk to you soon.